But what if I told you that by the time I hit 23, I had already made tens of millions of dollars? Yeah, sounds wild, right? But here's the thing. I'm not here to tell you it was all skill. Luck, timing, and a little divine intervention played huge roles too. So before we dive into today's video, just keep that in mind. And now let's get into what you came here for. The first principle for anyone wanting to hit millionaire status in their teens or early 20s. And believe me, this one might surprise you. Here's the thing. To become a king, you've got to be a pawn first. Sounds cliche, right? But stick with me because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Especially in today's social media-driven world, where everyone wants to skip straight to the finish line. More on that in a second. But here's the kicker. Learning respect early on taught me that you've got to earn your stripes before you can wear the crown. So, let's move on to principle 2, where things get even more interesting, especially for young hustlers like you. Now, principle 2, dress to elevate. And no, I'm not saying go out and buy a $2,000 Gucci jacket. Let me break it down for you. Here's a quick example. You could have a 30-year-old guy decked out in streetwear who looks 20, or an 18-year-old dressed classically who gets mistaken for someone much older. See the difference? But that's not all. Principle 3 will challenge everything you think you know about success. So stick around for that. All right, now on to principle 3. Find something external that humbles you. And trust me, this one's important. Let me paint you a picture. 17-year-old me, thinking I had it all figured out. Hired my first full-time employee, and boom, he quits 3 days later. Cue tears? Yeah, that happened. Introduce suspense for next principle. So, what keeps you grounded when you're riding high on success? Stick with me, because principle 4 is going to ruffle some feathers. No casual dating. Yep, I said it. Now, I know some of you are probably like, wait, no casual dating? Hear me out though. If you're spending your prime years distracted by casual relationships, you're wasting precious time that could be spent building your empire. And lastly, principle 5. Keep your circle small, but your influence large. Look, you don't need a ton of friends. In fact, the fewer, the better. But what you do need is influence. Let people know who you are without letting too many people in. All right, there you have it. 5 principles that will help you not just make a million, but also keep it. And if you've got that kind of discipline, trust me, you'll thank me later. But before you go, ever wonder what happens if you don't keep these lessons in mind? Let's just say, life has a way of humbling you when you least expect it.